So we're not keeping you too long here tonight, so I'm going to pass you over to past President Annette to introduce our students.
I'll introduce you, for those that don't know about Windeward Bound, it's tall ship in Hobart, if you've seen it, so it's not tall women. They run programs for youth so they can build confidence and skills through sailing together. So there's a particular program that's strongly supported by Rotary clubs, and our Rotary Club is very much behind this because we've seen over the time with different students the benefit that's gained. So this year, Dakota Delaney was introduced to us by Steve Miller and her teacher Kathy. Encouraged Dakota to have a go, and so she was our sponsored student from Rosny College. But and those of you who think, well, you're in Kingston, well, Dakota's family was from Kingston, and we've got land here as well. Thank you for supporting her. And then we have Sembeyan, who the other aspect of this particular program is we have a local students supported by who then they also support a migrant or refugee student, and Sembeyan has migrant status because he's come in from Chennai in Tamil Nadu, so he's part of the Tamil community. So, and all his supporters from the Tamil Association have actually helped through seed funding, and they did an amazing job. If you looked at his seed funding page of how they set it up and the support that they had, because quite often anyone that's done that crowdfunding, you don't always get what your target is, and they got so close to the target just through the crowdfunding, so they really gave a lot of support, so I congratulate them. And while they're here, any of the clubs here, if you want to grab them, because they're good at raising money. There you go. I noticed Shri, a number of people know Dr. Jay Sridhar from our local community, who is very well known at our Rotary markets. But Saguna will say that there's still stuff that if anybody wants it to go back to the market, then it can. So that's a little bit of personal stuff. But Dakota did an amazing job, and her interest in photography last year was a credit to her, and she's used that on her trip. And Sembeyan is an athlete, so one thing, if anyone went overboard, I think he could rescue them because he's a great swimmer. And I must mention the Tamil Association of Tasmania is a growing community group because there's a larger number of people from the Tamil area coming to Hobart. So it's good to get to meet and know people and groups that maybe we don't always know of or hear of in our communities. So, without further ado, I'll introduce Dakota and Sembeyan.
Thank you, Annette. I'd just like to give a huge thanks before I start my speech to all the Kingston Rotary people and my family, and definitely Rosny College. So, on the 9th of December 2018, I set on an experience that would last a lifetime and make new friends that I never thought I'd actually make friends with. So, when I first started out, I wasn't sure about the whole experience, and I wasn't quite sure what I had gotten myself into. So, I was excited and nervous, but over time, I got used to it. Over the course of the first 2 days, I opened up and became more comfortable with all the crew members on the Windeward Bound. They're just amazing and wonderful people to just be with. But by the end of it, I actually didn't want to leave the boat. But yeah. On the boat, we had an amazing chef named Kate. She made the best food for all of us on board, and honestly, I miss the boat mostly for her food. Over the 10 days, we learned a lot of things. We learned how to do knots, ropes, there's different types of sails on the tall ship, riding down logs and taking different watches, and definitely cleaning. Every morning we had to clean, wake up and scrub the deck clean. I don't really have much to say as Sembeyan probably does, but that's because I can't really talk about the experience because everyone's experience is different. So it's just really hard to describe my experience on the boat because I had so much fun and this is literally, I can't think of a way to describe how well it was and how good. That's about it. Thank you.
Hey guys, as I've been announced, I'm Sembeyan. As Dakota said, it was an amazing trip and there was so many things about it. So I'm going to kind of break it down into 3 little bits. How I started, what actually happened, and then hopefully just a little conclusion at the end. So it's just going to be 3 really short stories. Well, it all started in the middle of last year, so around this time last year. I was getting ready for my Year 12 exam, so I was already starting to stress out. This is when my dad came up to me and told me if I would like to participate in a youth leadership program as a representative of the Tamil Association of Tasmania. At first, I was like, no, why would I want to do that? I've already got enough on my plate. I don't want to hang around on a boat with 10 random people for 10 days. But surely Dad convinced me saying I might make a few friends and it might actually be quite fun. And before I knew it, I'd already signed up. I put in my application and I forgot about it. And a few months later, I got a notification saying that I was accepted as a mentor. I was a bit surprised. Me as a mentor on a boat, and I haven't even been on a boat before. So, I had no idea what I'd signed up for, but I hoped it was a little bit of fun. I also found out that I had to raise $2,000. This was a shock, because I didn't really know what I was signing up for anyway. So, luckily for me, I knew Sri, who was very helpful, and said, I'll help you out in this process, especially with your Year 12 exams. So he took charge, and he kind of made me a website and a GoFundMe page. And as you guys have been told before, GoFundMe pages don't always work out, but mine did. We got a lot of family friends and a lot of organisations, similar to you guys, who are willing to support me. So we raised $1,700 a week before the voyage started, which was amazing, but it wasn't enough. We were 300 shy, and I was starting to think that we won't make it. That's when Sri came to the rescue once again. He said he'd found some bursary who was willing to give us the rest of the money if we applied. So, of course, I applied and hoped for the best. And just within 24 hours, they got back to me saying, of course, we'll give you the rest of the $300. So I'm extremely thankful to them as well. So if we were only 1 week from the voyage start, and I get a call from Windeward Bound saying, you're unfit for the voyage. I'm saying, what are you on about? I look fine to me. And they said, according to your medical certificate, your doctor's ticked unfit for voyage. This is when I start to freak out. I finished my Year 12 exams, I thought I've done well, I thought this is just the fun part of the year, right? Just go on a little voyage, have a little bit of fun. But there I was, raised $2,000 and can't go on the voyage. So I started to freak out. Luckily for me, my parents calmed me down, called the GP, turns out she's just ticked the wrong box. So we got it all sorted, and there I was, on the day of the voyage. I was already late. We were in the car, and I looked at the clock, we were already 10 minutes late. And this is when I started to freak out once again. I still have no idea what I've signed up for. All I know is that I'm on a boat for 10 days with a bunch of random people. But before I knew it, I was there at the meeting spot. Everyone already looked like they knew what they were doing, and there I was, just standing there. And then Susie, the first mate of the boat, said, Sembeyan, you're in Blue Watch. Little did I know what a watch meant, or little did I know what Blue Watch meant. But I got a banny that said, get on board, and so I did. They also said that I'll be fine, and they'll take care of me. And I believed it, because there were that kind of people in that crew. They were all extremely friendly and very generous. So I'm really thankful to them, for them for helping me through that process. And there I was sitting on the deck of the boat. That's when one of the parents yelled out, "What happens if one of my kids gets sick?" To my surprise, the crew just laughed. And they said, "Well, actually, we've got an award for a person who gets the sick the most and the loudest." So I kind of just laughed half-heartedly, not showing if it was real or not, but I'm hoping it wasn't real and they've got actual medication on the boat. But, as I said before, I still got no clue what was happening. But in my dreams, I'd hoped that I'd go on this boat and I'd be in the middle of the ocean and all I could see was blue, nothing else, and it would be the most amazing thing ever. And we set our anchor, and now I'm getting excited. The nerves just go away and it's pure excitement. But to my surprise, we make anchor in 30 minutes time, and I look out and I see my house. We made anchor right outside my house. There goes my dream, I guess. But it was fun. We got to know everyone a little bit more. We had a chat with all the crew members, and they debriefed us on where we'd be sleeping, where the toilets were, and all the good stuff. And then they told us it's time to relax. For only 30 minutes, they said you relax, then your work starts. So we all just kind of stood there and slowly hovered towards the kitchen because we knew there was food. As soon as we sat down, someone brought out a card set. And that's where the trip really started. As soon as the cards came out, everyone became the best of friends. There were people yelling, screaming, laughing. People who had no idea who each other were suddenly became the thickest of thieves and the best of friends. And you know how I said, in my dream, it was a blue day and the ocean and that's all I could see? Well, that started to happen at the end of the second day. It was around dusk time and we've been told that we're setting sail to Storms Bay. So I'm thinking, this is going to be amazing. This is what I always wanted. And so we set sail, and I'm on the watch that actually starts the sailing trip. I'm fine, but as it gets darker, the waves get a bit choppier. Starting to get a bit nervous now, and I remember the joke that was said before about the award. But I didn't get sick, to my surprise, and no one else did. So as we finished off our shift quite quietly, everyone was still happy, and I was in my head thinking of my little dream. So as we were going down, Jordan, our watch captain, said something. Guys, Kate, our amazing chef that Dakota mentioned before, had made brownies. I'm saying, hell yeah, brownies, that's awesome. So after our shift, I have one brownie, and that's where it all went wrong. That started to be the worst 24 hours of my life. As soon as I had that brownie, I knew I'd done something terrible. I felt this tingle in my stomach. I was getting dizzy. My head was going everywhere. And I'm like, okay, I know what to do. Go to sleep. Forget this all happened. You'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be fine. So I rushed downstairs, get into my bed, and close my eyes. Turns out that's not so great. It got 10 times worse. I felt terrible. I thought I was about to puke right there on my bunk, all over my bunkmates, who I just became friends with. So I didn't think they'd really take it too well. So I ran out of there with pretty much just my shorts, no t-shirt, no shoes. Right into the outside, and there was the other watch. The watch that took over, they didn't look too great either. Almost everyone was leaning over, puking. And I felt a little bit better, to be honest. At least I wasn't the only one. And there I spent the whole night, puking and puking and puking. I saw the sunrise. I was there for the whole night. I was there from 8 p.m. all the way until the sunrise. And I never knew puking was so exhausting. You might laugh now, but it really is a workout. You can get a six-pack doing that. I did that the whole day. And by the time it was sunrise, everyone started waking up. And I'm like, maybe this will get better now. You know, I went through the worst of it. As soon as people started walking out, they got sick. Then I realized every single kid on that boat was puking. No one was fine. Every single person. Then I look up and there's the crew. They're just laughing. They're saying it's the best weather they've ever had in Storm Bay. And there I was, completely puking. Couldn't do anything. I was exhausted. I couldn't do anything. The crew were loving it. I asked my watch captain what he wants me to do, and he just said, just try to survive the day. And so I did. I just sat there. Every time I wanted to puke, puked, came back, sat down. And I did that until 12 o'clock. By that time, I heard people yell, dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. Turns out there's a pod of dolphins who had just come to visit the boat. But unfortunately, as I said, puking is exhausting. I legit couldn't get up, stand up, and go look at the dolphins. I was that exhausted. Turns out the rest of the kids were as well. There was only one or two people who actually had enough energy to go look at the dolphins. But I heard they're really beautiful. So there you go. And that was, you'd think, the end of my worst day, but that's only halfway. I continued like that until 6 p.m. and I finally felt a little bit better. And I just rushed straight onto my bed, closed my eyes and woke up. And I felt so much better. But I knew during that period of time, that was the worst I've ever felt. But the crew and the kids I was with always, even though they were puking right next to me, they made me feel so much better. And that's when I knew I made great friends. Because if anyone else was there, they would only be worried about themselves. Someone who pukes right next to you and then says, "Are you all right?" That's when you know you've really made a friend. And by that time, it was our watch again. I was back to work. So I get out of bed, I put on my clothes again, and I walk upstairs. And there I see a body just laying and curled up into a ball, hugging a pillow. That's when I realized Izzy, one of the other kids on the board, was so sick she couldn't go downstairs that night. She was huddled up into a board and just fell asleep there. But to be honest, I just really didn't care. I was overjoyed that I wasn't sick anymore. And I just ran outside and just took a breath of fresh air. And that was the worst 24 hours of my life. And one final story I'll give you guys. Is every morning on the board of the Windeward Bound, they do something called the Wakey Wakey. It's pretty much just a song. All it is one watch makes a song to wake up the rest of the boat. But it has to be completely original. You can't just copy wakey, wakey, wake up. You can't do something basic like that, so you have to actually put an effort. So our group did. We tried to get two songs that were completely unlike each other and try to make a song out of it. So we got Macklemore, which is a rap song, and then we got Queen's song, and we put it together and tried to make our own version. Dakota, would you like to play it?
Ooh, it's too real. Don't know about me, I don't mean in the moon state, so Hallie downhole in the sheet, watch out, we've got a hell of a sail.
By the way, this is played over the PA system for everyone else at 6 a.m. So
Red watch, wake up your left aim, right watch, you can do the second. DJ Colin, another one. We will wake you. Wake you. We will wake you. Wake you. Kiddies are all tired, paid up, living on a real big tall ship. For 10 days, you got spear on your face. Big disgrace, just living your cups all over the place. We will wake you. Wake you. We will wake you. Wake you.
that kind of gives you an example of what we went through every morning. Some group thinking they were really smart and making a really annoying sound. But it did wake everyone up, and it was fun. And everyone enjoyed it, even though it was embarrassing. Something else embarrassing that we had to do was, every morning, one of the crew would go doing checks around each cabin. The cabins have to be spotless, so just in case no one trips or falls. But with kids, with 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds and 18-year-olds, we don't really like keeping our rooms that tidy. So every time something was dropped on the floor or something like that, we would have to be made sing a silly song and dance a silly dance in front of everyone. We thought that was embarrassing, but turns out they actually filmed all of it. And they put it up on Facebook. So here's an example of that. Here's the one.
peel, bananas, peel, bananas, chop. Ooh, Mr. Cherry. Peel, bananas, peel, bananas, peel, bananas, chop, bananas, chop, bananas.
As I'd like to point out, that's Dakota right there, really putting all in her effort. I'm glad they only filmed that one because I had many dances like that. It's just unfortunate Dakota's dance was recorded, but there are a few more. It turns out Dakota recorded, so you might be here for another one if you'd like.
I noticed they're nearly all girls.
Yeah, that was the girls' cabin, so they were the first ones, surprisingly, to make the mistake. Well, guys, I don't think we're going to be able to get it up, but if you would like to hear the audio, we can play that. You want to play the audio?
The pancaking is at the interest of us. Give me a home amongst the tall ships with sticky armpits. Give me a small bird. At the back, give me at the front, and both the
As you can say, we had a really fun trip, so I hope people like you are able to sponsor people like me to have that same experience. Thank you.
Now, Sembeyan gave a very detailed one and probably really gave everyone a feeling of being on that ship like me. Thanks very much, that was great. So if anyone has a particular question, just fire away to either of them. If you do,
How long was it for?
10 days. 10 days.
are there any other questions?
Have you kept in touch with the rest of the crew?
Actually, we have a group chat over Facebook, so we all get together once every few months, so except for the people here.
That's because we're in, obviously, me and Dakota and Hobart, the other half are in Launceston, so they actually make the journey down, an hour's journey down just to meet us, so it kind of just shows the friendships you really make.
Mike, there's Kingston Rotary. Now, tell me, you're on this ship. Didn't see once that Sarah Parry Adams, was she aboard or not?
I think there was one where she was standing talking to them. You might have missed it.
Well, that's interesting.
Because I did spot her. Yes.
Do you have a commercial captain on board, or a yacht captain, or what sort of captain do you have?
So we had a ship's captain called Sarah Perry, and then we also had second mate, first mate, and everything else.
So no commercial.
No.
So thank you very much, and I'll pass back to Jim.
Okay, thank you to our students again. So that's just an example of what the clubs and that do for the youth and that in the community. So thank you once again for that. So we're getting to the end of the night now. The only thing I need to say there, keep away from the brownies. You never know what's in them. All right.